Multiple reports have indicated that a blockbuster trade is coming for the New York Mets surrounding one of the best players in the MLB, as a former Mets GM has revealed the truth on the situation at hand for this team going forwards, as the Mets continue to have a glaring need for this team that they are trying to create into a championship contender. Now, obviously, it wasn't that long ago that they were one of the contenders for the World Series, being 2 games away from dethroning the Dodgers. However, as we know, that did not happen, and the Mets' biggest need going into the offseason is obviously pitching. Starting pitching, that is, but the bullpen could also use some help as well. And we are going to go over a trade that changes everything for the New York Mets, and we're going to jump right into it as always, guys. But real quick, if you are part of that 77% that's not subscribed to Mets Digest, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update on the New York Mets any single day. Guys, we got all the Mets coverage you could possibly have, especially all offseason long. This is the place that you want to be, so make sure you don't miss a video. But let's jump into this video, because that's what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about subscribers. We're here to talk about the fact that David Stearns has his work cut out for him going in to this offseason. The Mets, they need to show something. They need to show if they really can hang, if they can go out there and make the moves that are literally a necessity if this team wants to contend for a World Series. Obviously, the year started great, but after Kodai Senga went down with that injury, the Mets pitching fell off a cliff. Clay Helms forgot how to pitch, which he actually did last year with the New York Yankees as well, or the year before, we should say, with the New York Yankees as well. And just frankly, it was a terrible end of the year for the Mets, and now they have a clear need going into things, which is going out and getting starting pitching for this team. Now, it can't just be one starting pitcher. They need to go get a few, and not all of them have to be top-tier names. However, getting a true ace for this team feels like a necessity at this point, considering the elite pitching around these top teams. The Mets need to do something in order to really start punching with their weight, and there is the perfect opportunity that has fallen into their laps, and that is none other than reigning American League Cy Young, Tarik Skubal. Skubal is on a pathway to go for another Cy Young award. It's between him, who's the favorite, and then on top of that, Garrett Crochet as well. One of them will be the Mets free agent, or will be the American League Cy Young, and the Mets' clear trade target here is Tarik Skubal, who is in a perfect situation to get moved. And there's been a ton of discussion surrounding Tarik Skubal getting traded off the Tigers. As Jason Burgos mentioned, while they collapsed late in the season and blew their AL Central lead, the Detroit Tigers once again reached the playoffs with the help of superstar pitcher Tarik Skubal. However, there are big questions about his future in Motown as he enters the final year of his rookie contract. It was a topic of discussion on a recent edition of the Foul Territory show, and The Athletic's Cody Stavenhagen suggested a trade is something the organization must consider, because there is little doubt that Skubal's agent Scott Boras will take him into the open market in 2026 to make him the highest paid pitcher of all time, which is expected to happen. Now, the New York Mets' stunning late season collapse revealed one clear problem: a lack of a true ace pitcher. They have some very nice young pitchers emerging, but they badly lack an elite talent at the top of their rotation. After the awful finish to 2025, they are sure to take some bold deals to ensure a playoff return next season, and will definitely look into Skubal, or into a Skubal trade, if he's available. The Mets have arguably the best farm system in baseball, as well as some high upside youth talent with MLB experience that would definitely intrigue the Tigers. On paper, they could potentially make the best offer for Tarik Skubal. Now, that's the thing here. The question is what the offer is for Tarik Skubal, something we're going to discuss. But also, when it comes to the Mets, they do have one of the best, if not the best, farm system in baseball, which is going to be absolutely huge for whoever they try to go out and trade for, on top of the fact that they're willing to spend money in free agency, helping. I mean, a dream scenario here is that they bring in Tarik Skubal and sign Cody Bellinger. That's the ideal situation that we could gear up for. But on top of that, adding another elite pitcher, or adding an elite pitcher, is the number one thing here. Maybe the Mets do what they did a few years ago: add 2 top pitchers, add Tarik Skubal in a trade, go out there, you sign Shane Bieber away. That's also a possibility of something we could see get done here. But it's clear the Mets need to go out there and make a move. Now, David Stearns is very reluctant to trade away his top guys. It's just something he's always been about. He's very, very skittish when it comes to trading top prospects, which could play a part into what's going to happen here. But for Skubal, you do it. The man had a 2.21 ERA this season with a 6.6 WAR, 241 strikeouts in 195 innings, and a whip of 0.891. The man deserves to win the Cy Young for the second year in a row, even though Garrett Crochet was also great. And just looking at his career, it took him a little bit to get going, but once he got going, he got going. Over the last 3 years, he has not had an ERA go above 3. He had a 2.80, a 2.39, and a 2.21. And also last season, or technically still this season, led all pitchers in the American League in WAR, which he also did in 2024. He led them in ERA, which he also did in 2024. He had a complete game shutout And on top of that, he had one of the best whips in baseball, or the best whip in the American League right there. Something he wasn't able to do in 2024, but he did have the best FIP and ERA plus in those years, which is just a sign of how damn good Tarik Skubal is at this sport. Now, the question is, what exactly would the Mets have to give up? How much of the farm would they have to really sell off for Tarik Skubal? And Jim Duquette, former Mets GM, mentioned that here's what you get in the conversation, or here's what gets you in the conversation. I don't think it gets a trade done. It would have to be one of either Jet Williams or Carson Bench. Probably pushing on Bench. Every team is asking for Bench right now. On top, one of a Brandon Sparat or Jonah Tong as well. Personally, I would rather it be Tong. And then another prospect like a Ryan Clifford. That would be similar to what the Brewers got in return from the Orioles for Corbin Burnes in 2024. Although it's a little heavier, I think, for Skubal than Burnes, which is correct. The price is going to be very, very high. I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't pull out of the trade necessarily. I would try to negotiate it down, but it's going to be expensive. There's no way around it. And that's the thing. Tarik Skubal's the best pitcher in baseball right now, so of course it's going to be expensive. That's just part of the deal here. But trading away some top prospects would be difficult. But again, we know Skubal performs. We know he performs in the regular season. We know he performs in the playoffs. With the playoffs in his career, he's got a 2.04 ERA with 56 strikeouts in his 6 appearances. The man has been downright phenomenal in the 39.2 innings that he's pitched throughout the playoffs thus far in his MLB career. He's ready for the moment. Now, the Mets' top prospects, we see Noah McLean there, who obviously is now in the MLB. He's still a top prospect because of the amount of games played, or it still is the top prospect because of the games played. Now, obviously, everyone wants to see what they can get for Carson Bench, and if the Mets do go out there and sign Cody Bellinger, Bench becomes very expendable in a Tarik Skubal trade. Something we have to be super aware of going forward is that instead of putting Carson Bench out there in the outfield, we move him away, and it does make some sense here. McLean will probably be asked for, but I imagine the Mets will want to keep McLean around. Jet Williams, it would not be shocking at all to see him and Bench go in a deal for Tarik Skubal on top of Jonah Tong as well. I think those three would all end up getting traded. One of Sparat or Tong will get traded again. I would rather it be Tong. But on top of that, we do see a few different guys as well. Ryan Clifford. We're going to see 3 to 4 top 10 prospects go from the Mets. One of the best just farm systems in baseball. So when we consider that, it is going to be a hell of a lot. But it also means that a lot of other teams might not be able to afford what the Mets are willing to afford, which is where David Stearns comes in and sort of makes things a little bit difficult, saying, you guys can't get a better offer than us. We're giving you the best prospects that we have, and we got the best prospects. Where are you going to go? Who are you going to trade with then? If you know that Tarik Skubal is leaving, who are you going to trade with? Or are you going to try to keep him around and hope you win the World Series this year because you're losing him in a year, and we can go pay him, and we will pay him to make sure we will pay him so much more than you guys can pay him to make sure we get him, keep our top prospects, then sell off some of our top prospects for someone else. And then all of a sudden, you made a mistake. Because now you get to see a bunch of elite prospects on another team performing, thinking we could have gotten them, but instead we tried to win a World Series. So that is the negotiation that we have to see David Stearns use going forwards. That's the big thing here. Now, Noah McLean has been nothing short of excellent since showing up in the MLB. With a 5-1 record and a 2.06 ERA, he looks like the future ace of the Mets right now. But also they do want to add more people to the team, which is fair. On top of that, we do see as well Brandon Sparat, who struggled ERA-wise, hasn't appeared in too many games, only appeared in 4 games. Someone who would likely be involved with the trade. Him and Tong could honestly both be involved, and I wouldn't be shocked. I think it would be an insane price for Tarik Skubal. The question is, do you do it? Answer me that in the comments down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have an excellent day, guys. I'll catch you later.